Hello everyone, welcome to the video on Mathematics 10. Today we're going to learn about the 3.2.2, the slope. Before we begin, you need to know how to simplify some fractions. You also want to know how you move from a point to another point on the graph. After this video, you'll be able to calculate the slope of a line from a graph or from a table of values. Let's try the first example question. Find the slope of the linear function. Well, in order to find the slope of a line, we need to understand what the slope means. The slope is defined as the rise over run. So if I know how much I rise by and how much I run by, I can find the slope. Let's look at the 2 points that I have on this graph. I have -6, 0, and I have 0, -2. Now, in order to help us understand, let's define -6, 0 as the point 1 and 0, 2, 0, -2 as the point 2. So my goal is to find how much do I need to rise by to go from 1 to 2, and how much do I need to run by to go from 1 to 2. In order to do that, let's draw a right triangle that connects the 2 points. So let's look at how much do I need to rise by from 1 to 2? Well, from y equals 0 to y equals -2, my rise is -2. So I'm going down by 2, or I could say that I'm rising by -2 units. Well, what about my horizontal movement, my run? My run is going from -6 to 0, so that's easy. I'm running by 6 units. So therefore, my rise is -2, and my run is 6. If I simplify that, it's -1/3. So the slope of this line is -1/3. We do a quick intuition check. When the slope is negative, my graph is going to go down. If the slope is positive, my graph is going upwards. And it makes sense that from 1 to 2, I'm going down the hill. So therefore, the slope is negative. Let's annotate the process. We use the slope equals rise over run formula. So the first thing that I did is make a right triangle connecting 2 points. Actually, before that, the first thing that I did was label 2 points as the first point and the second point. It's really helpful if you clearly define, okay, that's my first point, that's my second point. So I'm going to go from first to the second. And then I made a right triangle connecting 2 points and count the number of steps for rise and run. In this case, we're not really calculating the rise and run. We're just counting. Going 2 steps down, 6 steps, run. And we use the slope formula. And voila, we found the slope of this line. Let's try another example question. From the table of values below, find the slope. So in this case, we don't have the graph. Well, one thing that we could do is plot the points on the graph and put a line through them, and then we can do the rise or run. But let's just try another method. For the slope, we have additional formula that we can use. Slope is usually represented with a letter m. Okay, slope, or the letter m. The formula goes like this. y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. Well, what does y2 and y1, x2 and x1 mean? Well, y2, it means that it's the y coordinate of the second point, y coordinate of the first point, x coordinate of the second point, x coordinate of the first point. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose 2 points on this table, and I'm going to declare it as the first point and the second point. Just for the easiness, I'm going to go this one as my first point and this one as my second point. It's extra helpful if you clearly indicate what x1 is, what x2 is, what y1 is, and what y2 is. So in this case, the x1, the x coordinate of the first point is 0. The y1, the y coordinate of the first point is 1. The x coordinate of the second point is 2. And the y coordinate of the second point is also 2. Now, let's plot the points onto this equation, the formula. M equals y2 is 2, y1 is 1, x2 is 2, x1 is 0. So that's 2 minus 1 over 2 minus 0, 1 over 2, and that is the slope of this table of values. If you want, you can check with additional points. If you want, you can go with this one as the first point, this one as the third point, or even you can mix up the orders. You can put this one as the first point, and the first point as the second point, and it'll still work, as long as you keep the order the same. So that's why I suggest you write down the x1, y1, x2, y2 explicitly before we use the formula. Let's annotate the process. The first thing that I did was indicate the points 1 and 2. And then I identify, write down x1, y1, x2, y2 explicitly. I draw a little arrow here. Let's go like this, that. And then I use the formula, use the slope formula, and always I suggest that if you use any type of formula, you start by writing down the formula as it is, and then you plot the point, and then you plug in the numbers, and we get the number, and then we get the answer. So some vocabulary in the formula that we learned today. We learned the formula, the slope. The slope is the measure of steepness and direction of the line, whether it's going upwards or going downwards, or if it's super steep or if it's super shallow. And we can calculate it by finding the ratio of the vertical change to the horizontal change. So that one of the formula is m equals y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. Another way to calculate the slope is by finding the rise and run. The rise is the vertical distance, and the run is the horizontal distance. So the slope is defined as rise over run. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.